dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. We got another episode of This Week in Warframe where we go over the entire weekly reset and basically what you can expect as a Warframe player this week. We have the Plague Star event going on right now, and they didn't really change the event very much, but at least there's lots of Forma dropping like really quickly. So if you want to get on that, you got about another week on it. So let's go over what we have for this weekly reset. I'll be live on stream right after this video goes up, doing this weekly reset stuff, and also showing off some new Plague Star strats. I'll have in a new video as well. Alright, so for your weekly item protection, you have a Zaw Riven mod. You might want to get this, you might get a Plague Crit Path or Plague Kiwar Riven, although they are kind of nerfed nowadays compared to way back in the day. But yeah, we have Plague Star available for another, let's see how many days it is. Another 8 days, 15 hours of the recording of this video, we're going to have Plague Star active, so if you want to get that stuff, be aware that Plague Star is not a guarantee every year, and I'm guessing Nabarris will no longer have the Exodia Contagion or Plague Crit Path parts going forward, as they have brought Plague Star back. So if you don't have that stuff for Mastery, I definitely recommend getting it before it goes away. And of course, Exodia Contagion is still pretty powerful nowadays, if you have a Zaw that can use it properly. Alright, let's go ahead and look at Archides' weekly wares here. We'll take a look at the Incarnons and stuff. So for weekly stuff at Archides, you've got a secondary Arcane Adapter for 25 Pathos Clamps. You've got a Forma Blueprint for 10 Pathos Clamps. You've got a Rifle Riven mod for 15 Pathos Clamps. 5,000 Kuva for 10, and an Orokin Reactor Blueprint for 20. That is going to be your weekly stuff from her. A lot of this other stuff is going to rotate daily.
No wonder this place is in
Alright, so for the Incarnons and things of that nature, let's see what we got. Alright, let's start with the normal path, what frames you can unlock by doing the normal path circuit.
It should have been noted.
Alright, you've got Mesa, Chroma, and Atlas. As far as who has the best helmet ability here, it's definitely going to be Mesa with her Shooting Gallery ability. As far as who the hardest frame is to farm, it's kind of a toss-up, really. These are, I think it's 3 quest frames here, so not too hard either way. I'm going to say go for Mesa, just because her helmet is better. Chroma also requires, I think Saren Neuroptics and Volt Neuroptics or something to build him. He's going to be an annoying farm regardless, but I believe he does come as a guaranteed drop from the quest. So keep that in mind. Mesa needs to be farmed from a boss, and also Atlas needs to be farmed from a boss at the end of the quest as well. So I say go for Mesa. Her helmet ability is very good, and she's just a good frame in general. Mesa Prime is currently vaulted, so if you want to get Mesa, there you go. Alright, for the Incarnons now, let's see what we got. Okay, so this is the Latron week. We've got the Bow Incarnon, the Latron Incarnon, the Furus Incarnon, the Furax Incarnon, and the Strun Incarnon. Reminder, if you have not played in a while, if you have the rank 9 Opportunity Intrinsic, you can actually get additional options. If you already have all the Incarnons, you want to get something else from playing the Steel Path Circuit, that's what you can do. But discussing all these Incarnons, definitely got some good ones this week. I'll go over what each of these do. So for the Bow Incarnon, this is probably the least powerful of them all this week. We've got the special ability providing additional 4 meters of range. The top tier Incarnon choices on here can give you a massive status chance increase, so it does have some niche use case as a stat stick on status focused frames. That being said, we have things like the Ceramic Dagger, which are just going to be better in most situations, to be honest. So I would highly recommend keeping this one as the last Incarnon for this week that you get, especially when we have other things like the Latron available. So moving past the Bow Incarnon, it's just a long-range staff, basically. Some stat stick viability. Moving on to the Latron, this is like some of the pinnacles of power in this game. Yeah, funny enough, the Latron Prime, that weapon that was really bad back in the day, it's now extremely deadly. The Incarnon form will transform it into a fireball launcher. The fireballs will bounce around and it can do multiple instances of damage. Additionally, the top tier Incarnons on this Latron Incarnon can give you massive benefits, such as removing enemy armor permanently 20% per puncture proc. It's a puncture-focused weapon, so it is one of the only ways in the entire game to fully remove enemy armor with just, actually with no outside abilities or anything like that. It's no shattering impact, it's just puncture proc, armor's gone permanently too. So very nice there. Additionally, you can also go for critical parallel instead, giving a massive increase to crit chance and crit damage. So I highly recommend that you pick this thing up if you have not already. And the Latron Prime, I believe, is still available from Frost Resurgence, which will be available till the end of the year. So one of the top choices for sure this week. Another very powerful option is the Furus Incarnon. This thing's transformation form is basically a hairdryer of doom. It's very similar to the Tier 7 Clamora Prism for the Operator Amp. It's heat damage focused, and it can just burn down an entire hallway of enemies. Very good for Demolish, very good for pretty much anything you'll shoot it at. As long as the enemy can take a bunch of heat procs, they will die very quickly with this. So I'd recommend picking this thing up if you have not already. It's very powerful. Secondary, but keep in mind there is no Prime version, so you'll be using the Fierce Normal, unfortunately. Another one that is not really my favorite, but it's acceptable, I suppose. We have the Firax Incarnon. It says the Firax Wraith is its strongest variant. What this thing does is it leaves a... Honestly, the special attack is not anything worth running home about, but it will release a fire wave when you do a slam attack. And it also gives you slam attack efficiency, too. That was not on there at launch, but yeah, it gives you heavy slam efficiency, so you can just slam attack over and over again if that sounds useful to you, which it's not really useful to me. You can just use these as fists instead if you don't care about that attack, because that attack's not very good, in my opinion. The top tier Incarnons can give you a chance to create a slash proc and an impact proc, and these are impact focused, so that makes them slash viable. You've also got a kind of funny one, increases critical damage multiplier to 4x on slide attacks. I have not really gotten that to work yet, but it does sound kind of funny, like Maiming Strike flashbacks right there. So, pretty powerful weapon. Actually, some of the lower tier Incarnons in here are very powerful. We've got Killjoy right here, increasing damage by 90, and you get increased attack speed for every enemy nearby. It's a melee weapon, so you'll have a ton of attack speed active quite often. So, I'd say this is better than the bow, but it's definitely not better than these guns. And we get the final Incarnon choice here, the Strun Incarnon. We have some good options, too, for the Strun Incarnon. We have the Strun Prime and the Strun Wraith. I'd probably recommend going over the Strun Prime, because it has a lot of slash damage. But yeah, the Incarnon form makes it like a rocket launcher, basically. Get your Incarnon charge built up, transform it, fire off, heat rockets wherever you fire it. It can hit really, really hard. So I'd recommend this one if you don't have it already. The top tier Incarnons give you massive status chance increase or a pretty big crit chance increase. So very nice stuff there. My overall recommendations to you this week is to go for the Latron and Strun. If you already have either of these, go for the Fierce. And then if you have all three of these guns this week, then you can start considering going for like the Firax and maybe the bow if you're really looking to get every Incarnon. So yeah, number 1 and number 2 recommendations, Strun and Incarnon. Or Strun and Latron Incarnon, that is. All right, let's go ahead and look at the Archon Hunt and what else you can expect this week in Warframe. So yeah, mostly going to be Plague Star this week. We're on the second week of Plague Star. We've gotten a lot of the Force drone spawn stuff figured out, so I'm going to have a very easy method of doing it tomorrow on the channel, as well as like a solo guide and all that for 1 week in. What have we found out this year that's going to be the really good stuff? It turns out most of the old stuff is also the good stuff now. All right, so talking to Chipper, let's see what Chipper's got. Chipper has a yellow Archon shard, and let's see what the Archon Hunt is. I actually don't remember what it is this week. All right, so we have the red Archon, the Crimson Amar Wolf Archon, and it's going to give you a Crimson Archon shards. This can give you things such as power, strength, and duration and things of that nature. So as far as the mission types, you get Extermination on Mars, Disruption on Mars, and the final Wolf Boss Showdown. Good luck hitting those Tau shards. All right, for the call mission, let's see what we got. We have Junk Run with Deathless, defeat Sprague, call go fast, rescue the 5 Ostrons, scavenge Thumper parts, and smash Pazul Axums. Not really the best synergy of challenges this week, but whatever at this point. At least you can get those stock boxes now. Now, before we go to the Nightwave, I want to let you guys know that in about 10 days of the day I'm uploading this video, the Nightwave is going away. There is a timer in-game right there, so 9 days, 18 hours, the Nightwave is going away. Make sure, if you have not done any of this stuff, I would say I highly recommend that you get to level 9 for the Sentient Surge mod. This makes the Occucore weapon, it's almost Incarnon level after you put this mod on there. So definitely get this. There is a rumor it's going to get nerfed, but if it doesn't get nerfed, or even if it does get nerfed, it's not a big nerf, you're going to want this. It makes the Occucore an actual weapon. The other augment for the Betacore at like level 23, definitely not as important. This one has not been making a splash as the Occucore one has had, and also look at how long the description is. So get level 9 if you haven't already, and then maybe just move on past that. As far as your challenges this week, complete 3 different perfect animal captures in the Orbalis, complete 3 Kuva Siphon missions. Remember, you can just run past, you don't have to actually beat the Siphon, just go into the mission and then run to the end. After do a capture the target and run to the end. That will count for this. You don't need to actually beat the Siphon to do this. Complete 3 different Plains of Eidolon bounties. I wonder if the Plague Star bounty will count for that. help Clem with his weekly mission, complete 1 sortie. I don't think the Archon sortie counts for that. I'm not entirely sure. I'll try that out tonight just to make sure. Then Antiquarian. Open 1 of each relic tier. Lith, Meso, Neo, Axii. They don't include Requiem in there apparently, but yeah, there's 4 relic types according to this. And then Rise of the Machine. Kill 300 enemies using a Necromech without getting destroyed. Hey, there you go. Plague Star right there. This will be an easy one to beat in Plague Star. Pretty manageable week this time. As far as your Nightwave store, your evergreen stuff is at the top. You got your helmets here. The Grendel Glut helmet is great if you don't have it already. Yeah, these are all going to be personal preference, of course. As far as your aura mods, we got some good aura mods this week with Steel Charge, Loot Detector. The other 2, Infested Impotence and Rifle Scavenger, not really as necessary. Rifle Scavenger can be nice in arbitrations, but not necessary. And then I say go for Steel Charge and Loot Detector if you don't have these already, with Steel Charge probably being the higher priorities. It gets a ton of mod capacity. For your Mastery Fire, you do have the Ceramic Dagger blueprint this week. The person that's always like, hey, I started playing 3 weeks ago and the Ceramic Dagger hasn't been here for 4 weeks. Hey, there you go, man. It's there. It's right there. And would you look at that as well? The Double Tap Latron mod's also here this week for the Latron Incarnon. So interesting stuff there. I don't really like this mod that much, but it has some potential for sure. We also got Recharge Barrier for Volt and the Power of 3 for Ivara. Alright, now here comes the part I've actually been anticipating all day. Let's see what Invigorations I have. I did not use my override from last week, by the way, so... Because my Invigorations were so bad, I'm hoping for a Volt Power Strength one, or just like a Range one in general. Range or Power Strength on any frame, I will override that. And we already have a Wisp one, so that's a good sign. Alright, so let's get... Just a reminder, if you don't have this stuff unlocked, this is random per player. I just show this stuff to, give it a ballpark of maybe some videos coming out in the next week as far as how crazy this can be. If you want to unlock this, you can buy it for Platinum from the in-game market, or you can get to level 5 with the Deimos Necrolisk Syndicate and buy this from the Sun NPC. Alright, enough of that. Let's start with Caliban. We've got Primary Damage and Energy Rate. Pretty terrible one, at least for Plague Star's sake. Secondary Crit Chance and Ability Efficiency. Might be a little bit better if you're using a DPS secondary for Plague Star, but really not what I'm looking for. So let's hope this Wisp one is Power Strength so I don't feel bad about my Invigorations again. Oh man, we got Secondary Damage and Parkour Velocity. Somehow, I feel like these Invigorations are actually better than last week, but they're all really not that great. So guys, since we only have 1 week of Plague Star left, if you were me, which Invigoration would you override onto either Volt or like Nova or something? We've got Primary Damage Energy Rate, Secondary Crit Chance Ability Efficiency, and Secondary Damage Parkour Velocity. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll probably pick one of these to override tonight on stream. So, either way, guys, appreciate it. Hope you got better Invigorations than I did. I'll be grinding out Plague Star a ton over the next week. And yeah, after that's done, we'll just start opening relics again and wait for Whispers in the Wall, hopefully in December. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. For your support, take it easy. Peace.